I'm driving, doing a couple of errands, running around doing my thing, and thought I'd take a break and talk about something that I talked with a friend of mine this morning, and I think this is going to be very helpful to a lot of people. So, welcome to Beast of Light. My name is Felicia, as well known as the Galactic Spiral Light Priestess, Makala. So, let's get into this. Now, the title, if you look at the thumbnail, it's giving you the look of someone looking over their shoulders. They're wondering what's going on, what are they hearing, what is the expression. And after talking to my friend this morning, Marty, she was doing her live, and I thought it was really interesting that she's talking about the empath and the medicine of that. And then I was thinking, I told her, I said, I really like what you were talking about. And I started having a lot of thought process yesterday about, um, started having a lot of thought processes yesterday about when I really started stepping into my knowingness of what and who I am. The gift. We called it the gift. My mom called it the gift. I'll have to sit you down and talk to you about the gift. And I was like, what is the gift? So I remember when it first kicked in, and I think it was more like 8 or 9. Just things were just popping off, happening. But the one that really stood out the most was the hearing and the seeing and the feeling of someone in the house. Now, I'm going to get into this. This probably happened to a lot of you when you were growing up, when your gifts were coming on and you didn't know what it was. So I just remember saying, when I would get into bed and my dad would leave and go to work, he would work the night shift. And I hated when he would have to leave and go and work the night shift, because that meant the protector was out of the house. I felt like anything could happen, that these things that I was hearing were going to come and get me. Okay? So it would always start as soon as I put the lights out and I go to bed, and somewhere after midnight, I would wake up hearing the voices, whispers, conversations, movements through the home, doors, cabinets, things opening, and I'm like, someone's in the house. That would be the first response. Someone is in the house. Someone has broken in. And Mom and I and my brother, we're sitting here. We're by ourselves. And what do I do? How do I respond to this? Oh my gosh. So I remember a lot of times I would get out of the bed. I would crawl on the floor. I was being so military. Come on. And crawl on the floor. And I was literally going out to my mom, or I knock on the door, or I go, Mom, do you hear that? Do you hear that? She wake up, she goes, What are you talking about? Hear what? I said, somebody's in the house. And she would say, nobody's in the house, Felicia. You're dreaming, or you're hearing things. Yeah, I was hearing things. But we never tied it into that I was audio, clairvoyant. I was hearing the spirits. And I would just, someone's in the house, Mom. They're going to come up the stairs. So I got to the point to where it just kept being so much, and my mom got pretty used to me coming in, crawling on the floor, saying someone's in the house. And she would just say, nobody's in the house, honey. We're safe. We're fine. Nobody came in. I would know if somebody's coming in the house. I said, but Mom, didn't you hear the garage door open? Didn't you hear the knock at the door? Didn't you hear the sound in the kitchen? Da 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 da. She goes, no, honey, I didn't hear any of that. We're by ourselves. And many times, sometimes she would get up and walk with me through the house to show me nobody's here. Nobody's in the house. But I was hearing all the stuff. So I just thought it was time to really kind of dive into these things called the sensory. And yeah, my car is kind of cosmic. um, dive into the sensory of things being that you're hearing and sensing and feeling. But yet and still, when you go and search it out, there's nothing there. And I'm saying this for the parents who have these crystal children, these indigo children, these high sensitive children that are coming into the world right now. If they tell you they're hearing something, they are gifted. That means they're hearing spirits. They're probably hearing the ancestors, talking to them. If you had, like, one of my um, clients told me that her son, as soon as the grandfather had passed away, was able to say, hey, you know, he's here, sitting here. He wants you to look this up and da 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 da. And she's like, he's literally talking to him. And it would vet out what he was saying and what he was hearing. So your children, if they are sensing something or feeling something, please listen to them, because there's nothing worse than a child or a young adult going into their gifts and they don't realize what they're hearing, what they're feeling, what they're sensing. So when those senses kick off, you got to be able to tell them, hey, you're sensing this because this is a part of your gifts. This is a part of what your sensories are. If you're seeing whispers of smokes or you're seeing the shadows of things. My brother, he would see things like shadow figures. He would see beings, and he would always tell me, I don't like the black and white one, the black and white being. He has stripes all over his body when he shows up. And now when I sit back, being who I am now, I said, oh, wow, he probably was getting visited this whole time by some of those extraterrestrial beings, and we didn't know at the time what those were. Because we're just thinking, oh, okay, well, you got an overreactive mind, or we shouldn't have stayed up and watched creature features and watching scary movies, and now you're thinking you're seeing all that. And he goes, no, he comes up. I see him when he comes out of the closet. I see him when he comes out from under certain spots in the room, and he's trying to come to my bed. And as soon as I click the light on, he disappears. And I was like, oh. So I was like, okay, so what do you call him? He said, I call him the black and white striped guy. And he wears a black hat. And I said, oh my gosh. So listen to your young children when they're telling you that they're sensing something or they're seeing something coming up, and they don't know how to express it to you because they're just going to tell you what they're seeing. The children aren't going to be just making it up for the fun of it, okay? They're going to tell you what it is. So when I really just kind of started diving into, it's a little squirrel coming over. When I really started diving into what I was sensing, what I was feeling, and I would finally start hearing them clearer, it stopped being where I was being fearful. But it did go on for some time where I was constantly telling my mom somebody's in the house. or telling her, did you hear that? Did you see that? The clear audio kicking in when you're hearing it. So as you get older, my mom would explain to me, oh, as we get older, the gifts get stronger. And I'm like, okay, well, that's good to know. The gifts get stronger. So when your gifts increase, it comes with a little bit more description of what your gifts are, what's coming through. So I just wanted to hop on here and talk about it. I'm going to do more of a breakdown of it so that it's something that everyone can kind of start looking at themselves and relating to, so that you're not sitting back thinking, oh, I'm crazy what I'm hearing, or oh, this is nuts what I'm hearing, and da 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 da. No, 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 no. You're not crazy. You're not losing your mind. You just happen to be a sensitive, um, or an empath, or a seer, a clear audio, or you smell them when they're coming around. Like when I start smelling, like the smell of a dead flesh or something, I can tell that somebody that passed away suddenly, or something happened to them, and they're coming around or they're passing through, and I can smell that. But if I smell a sulfur smell, like a pukey smell, that's more of a very low being coming through, looking for a match, looking for someone he can kind of like interact with, like an archon, or more of those lower. And I rather say lower beings, because not all of those smells are demonic. A lot of times they're just lower being souls that got mischief going on. So I just wanted to start this part of it and put this here and let you know. So today we are in the red solar snake, Ken, and this is raise your snake to the planes and the spirit and instinct and survive and vital force, your vitality force. So what is your vitality force going to be like today? So me, I'm just kind of hanging back and enjoying a little running around and taking a little bit of time out. So enjoy your day, lovelies. Put it in the chat if you have experienced this, or you know young ones who have experienced it and you just didn't know how to explain it. Someone's got to tell them what their gifts are, instead of making them feel like they have to stick with a certain construct way to be in society, okay? Or making them feel like, oh, well, don't talk about these things, because if people find out that you're talking about these things, they're gonna think you're crazy and all this stuff. All right, so anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. I just wanted to hop on here, and I'm sitting and I'm watching this woman with two dogs. And can I just say this? Have you guys noticed how a lot of what I call the artificial beings, or NPCs, or what, they come around and they do the energy has them around in your space for weirdness. You guys, I forgot to tell you something weird that happened to me yesterday. Okay, so yeah, I'm watching an NPC right now where I am. So yesterday I went and I got some new cover things for my vehicle, because I said, it's an older car. All the car people always tell me, keep your car as long as you can. You don't want to be dealing with all the new stuff that they're doing right now. And a lot of the mechanics, they see this car and they're like, it's a what year? You keep this car. Keep it going. Drive it until you can't drive it no more. I'm like, okay, fine. So anyway, I'm up at Folsom at the mall, outlet mall. And I'm out in the parking lot. And I said, oh, let me get the seat covers out of the box, and this should be an easier one to pop on and put it into my get the seat covers on, you know. And I said, okay. So I find a spot like on the back parking lot. There's only one or two cars back there. Nobody's in them. Some employees parked their cars there and everything. So I'm doing my thing, you know. I'm putting my car seat covers on and I'm doing my thing. Ain't nobody around. But I do remember when I was coming through the parking lot, I saw this woman with her wagon and her dog, and she was walking through the parking lot. And I said, okay, I bet you some money she's going to come up around on this side. And sure enough, I look, I don't see her, but as I'm putting the seats on, all of a sudden, there she is. She pops up. And then she stops, like behind my car, not directly behind it, but like across the way. But I can see her. Like if I wanted to go up and say hi to her, I can walk up and say hi to her. So she stops and she's, you know, kind of fidgeting with some stuff, and she's looking at me, fidgeting with stuff. So I said, we're going to head this off because I don't know what you're walking with. So I get in the car and start it up. So then she realizes, oh, okay, never mind. So then she goes ahead and takes off and she leaves. And I'm like, okay, she's gone. I get back out, and now I got to get the second one on. And I'm thinking, okay, let me get the second one on. So I'm doing my thing. You know, it's hot. I'm like, okay, let me get this on. It's easy to put on. I'm adjusting it, getting the covers on. I'm liking it. It's kind of like this tie-dye, pretty effect, pretty colors. I like the colors. And I'm putting the seats on. I'm looking around. Nobody's around me. I'm paying attention. You know me. Next thing I know, I come back around the car. I get in the car, and I'm putting on the cover onto the steering wheel. Okay, Excalibur, what are you doing? Okay, so I put the cover on. Next thing I know, I'm getting ready to back out. Hi, lovely. I'm getting ready to back out. And then there is, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? A black Audi. Completely blacked out. Blacked out glass all the way around. Little sportsy little Audi that's like only maybe 10 feet away from the back part of my car. Sitting there with the license plate. I don't know what the first three letters were. I think it was a U, a V, and an L or something. But I do know what the last part of the license plate was. 666. Sitting there. Why would you pull up on my car where I'm going to back out and almost hit your ass because you're right there? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, where the fuck did you come from? And I'm looking around, and I'm like, where did you come from? It's like he just appeared out of nowhere, just sitting there. Now, keep in mind, I'd already put this other cover on the seat. I walk around the car. Nobody's there. I come to this side of the car. I get in the car. I put the cover onto my steering wheel. And then, boom, I look up and there's this car sitting there. And so I just kept my cool and I said, okay, vampire, whatever. And I just went ahead, pulled back, because I couldn't go forward because the tree was in front of me. And I'm like, I just went ahead and pulled back, went sideways, and then I looked, and I go, and then took off and left. He turns around and is going to proceed to follow me. But because I got over into a different lane really fast, he got into the wrong lane, had to go make a right turn. I was making a left turn. So I'm telling you, this whole Matrix thing is unreal. It's kind of like, when I say unreal, I mean unreal, because It really is when you sit back and you look at it and you look how people and things, a car there 1 minute, gone the next. You back out of a parking lot and you're coming out and nobody is around you. Then all of a sudden you see this vehicle and it's like, where the fuck did you come from? I was just pulling up. Where did you come from? You're in a parking lot. There's hardly any cars anywhere. And then the next thing you know, boom, here comes this car showing up. Or they got to pull up right where you are. Why you got all this parking space? Why do you got to pull up right where I am? Why? Why you got to do that? So, hold on, you guys. I'm going to turn this on really quick. Turn it down. So, I just thought it was kind of weird that that car was just sitting there. And it was just too crazy for me. And I was like, well, I shouldn't say crazy. It's kind of like what to expect now. So I'm just watching people do their walkabout. And I'm like, enjoy it now. Because come next month, yeah, you ain't going to be able to do this at 12. Nope. I'm like, no. You ain't gonna be able to do this. So I really just wanted to share that with all of you. Be very watchful because they are showing up out of places and you're not really aware of what they're doing, and then you turn around and look and there they are right there. Okay? Remember, and this is what I want you to practice and I want you to master. I want you to remember this. There are beings that have been around us for a very long time, masking themselves, blending in, okay? Now, all of a sudden, we're supposed to start believing in the storyline of the beings and documentations and stuff. I don't have time for that. I don't care about any of that. I really don't. I already know all about that stuff. What I care about is the well-being of humanity and freedom. What I care about is getting out of the illusion. What I care about is people having access to a place to live and food that is not contaminated, and skies not being polluted and water not being polluted by beings that want to do those things. That's what I care about. I care about these type of things. But rest assured, pay attention to your surroundings, especially if you are a woman and you're just kind of kicking it, doing whatever, hanging out, doing your thing, and you're just doing whatever, having a good time. You just never know who's watching you. Who's watching? Who's watching you? Because they're learning, they're scoping. You got to remember in the movie Predator, okay? In the movie Predator, when they have their masking on, they're standing right there. But the person can't see them because they're standing right there. And they make up their mind if they want to strike that person, attack that person or not. They're trying to make up their mind. So when the predator is hunting, they're just watching, studying you. Want to know what your routine is. Okay? Keep that in mind. We're very much so in our own form of the movie Predator versus Alien. So, I thought it was also weird. I think I mentioned it yesterday or not. There was a weird incident that happened when I went to go get water yesterday. And it's really interesting because I go in, I know the guy, get the water. He's, hey, Feliz, and it going good. How are you? And go get my water. And I'm walking in. There's two people talking, but they see I'm pulling the cart thing. And I'm like, excuse me. And I'm trying not to cut between the conversation because I think that's rude. So I'm trying to go behind them. All they have to do is scoot in so I can get the cart thing next. And then they finally realize, oh, sorry, sorry. Okay, So I go ahead and go do my water thing. I'm getting my water. The people leave. And I'm still getting my water. And this woman walks in. I feel her energy when she walks in. I go, draconian. Chilean. I said, oh shit. And I go, okay. And I look, she's got long white hair. And I'm like, oh. She walks in and she comes in and she goes, I just hate the fact that I couldn't get closer like I wanted to because there's a van parked up over on this side and didn't leave enough space to park. And I didn't want to park next to it because there's not enough space for me to get in and out of the vehicle. So I'm just getting my water, mind my own business. And he tells her, yeah, I'm going to work on trying to get us some more parking space closer here so people can come pull up and don't have to worry about trying to carry the water to their cars and stuff and get a little bit closer. And she goes, oh, okay, that would be great. She then flips her head and looks at me like this. I'm not kidding. She went just like that, and she goes, is that your van out there? And I go, and in my mind, you know what kind of person I am. I'm sitting here saying, oh no, you're not going to run up on me like that. You're not stepping up in this. Now, no. First of all, you don't have the oxygen level to step up into this. Second of all, you don't have the energy to step up into this. So don't be stepping up on this. You don't know what you're getting yourself into, asking me a question like that. First of all, I don't have to answer you and say that's my van, because I don't drive a van. That's not my car. And so she's looking at me for a response, and I said, no, that's not my van. I don't know whose van that is. And she goes, oh, okay. All right. And I'm like, yeah, no, don't come at me like that. Don't do that. Don't. So I went ahead and got my stuff, and she's still complaining. And I just went up to him and said, you having a good day? He goes, yes, I am. We both looking at each other like, she's still complaining about that van. And it wasn't a big van. It was just a regular SUV that was parked. And somebody went into the float center to go get a treatment, and she was all upset about it. So I'm like, I don't have time for that. Let's see. Yeah, I'm resting in. What? Shut the front door. Tell me I'm not reading what I'm reading. No. Tell me this ain't true. Oh my God. Are you okay? Oh. You've been around with our tribe a long time. You can't be doing this. Okay. You know what the heart attack part is? Yes, they said I had 90% blood clot. What? Okay. I want to ask you a question without, hold on a second. Okay. I'm done overheating. I want to ask you a question without, does your family have a history of, yeah, they did a bypass on you. Or better yet, what we call it back in the day when I was in nursing on the meds, or a cabbage. Did they do a cabbage? Did they do a cabbage on you? Um, does your family have a history of it? Yes. Okay. All right. I thought I was going to get off of here real fast, but Kathy, okay. we are in a, see, I'm going to tell you guys something. I've been really kind of quiet, just observing and watching. Haven't been coming on a lot, but I've been doing a lot of work in my private group. That's where all my action is. It's in the private group on Signal. Because I can say and do what I want over there, and I don't have anybody. Well, look how my light just went up just that quick. So I'm stepping into medicine. Um, because I can be over there and do what I want to do, and I don't have to worry about what I say and don't say, and oh, they're only going to let so much happen, and but all that craziness. So I need you all to really pay attention to yourselves. Okay? Stop taking it for granted that because you were functioning on Monday this way, or you were functioning on Tuesday this way, that everything is, kosher. We are moving through so many timelines right now, all at the same time. And it's clicking that's happening, clicking you in and out of different timeline spaces. Now, health-wise, what happens if you are being told by spirit to look into a different thing of lifestyle to live, you have to listen. You just have to, because if you don't, spirit's going to step in and say, you know what? I got to take you out of this. I got to get you out of this. When your stress level goes up so high, and nursing is stressful. Okay, let's not sugarcoat this. Nursing is stressful. It's very stressful. You have to be able to be in a place where you are happy. Okay? That's why a lot of nurses are getting out of the field. A lot of people are leaving that field because it's not what it used to be. Those days are gone. It's not about caring about the patient anymore. And you do less taking care of yourself and caring of yourself. So I really, really, really need everyone to pay attention to when hey, grandmother spider, he told me hello. Pay attention to when you got to get out of certain areas, certain things. Step out of it. When you got to step out of certain careers, certain things that you got to step out of, and reevaluate. This is our greatest time of change right now. And part of that changing is really giving ourselves permission to step into what we really want to do, step into our passion, step into, the things that we enjoy. I'm leaning more and more into spiral light, but I'm taking it to the next level with the crystals, with the healing, with the frequency. So new modalities of spiral light has come in now, and we got the SIB. We work with the stronghold. We work with what's your interference? What's the blockage? And then we go straight in, boom, 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 and hit those areas and take care of it. I didn't watch this lady driving around her Tesla back and forth trying to figure out where she gonna park. And she's trying to figure it out. Oh, she gonna back up now. Oh, here we go. I just love these people that be trying to do this. Look how close she getting. Look, 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 look. Look, look. These people that gotta just back up. They gotta back up. They can't drive into a straight parking spot. They gotta back up into it. It's crazy. Was overworking, eating horribly? Yes. They say it's like a new heart, but I'm tired. What the hell is she doing? See, another NPC. Slow breaths, dreams, planning a new lifestyle. Okay. This is what this is going to be moving through. I know I haven't been on in a while, and I haven't been bringing a lot of the frequency stuff. Like I said, I've been just kind of quiet, doing my thing, being to myself, working, doing the work stuff that I need to do, staying focused. Ain't bigger than 2 inches. And she had to park right there. The spy car. The spy car that has all the cameras on it watching everything. It's alive. So this is a time when we sit back and we really start to listen to what we came here to really do. And I did that talk. It didn't get a lot of views because they didn't want what I had to say to get out there about we didn't sign up for this. We didn't sign up for this. Okay? We did not sign up for the bad food. We did not sign up for all the craziness that's happening on this planet. These are all engineered things that's happening. Okay, we didn't sign up for this. So it's just time to really step into the self. Yeah, we didn't sign up for this. Everything that's happening in your life, I'm even going to dive in. I'm going to come on tomorrow because tomorrow I'm going to do some crystal fasting. You're probably saying, what's that? It's when you make your crystal elixir and you take in the crystal elixir. None that are toxic, or you don't do those. But you do the water crystal fasting, and you work with the crystals, you work with the elixirs, and it's one of my own programs I'm putting together because I really want to step into that. But I will be coming on tomorrow. We're going to dive into how do you start breaking down those contracts where you as the woman, female of your bloodline was dishonored. Okay, there's a lot that pairs up with that. You better not park your butt over here. You better not. Yeah. I'm on to these trucks. I can't stand them. They just pull right up on my vehicle and just be sitting there. I'm like, you couldn't find anywhere else to park? But yet still you come over right next to my car and do it? What? So tomorrow I'll come on and we'll do some talking about breaking those contracts. Now in the community, I left 2 videos that I want all of you to really go check out. Check out Kalina's, how she's talking about some of the things that are happening and the timelines. And if you've been dealing with things that are coming up missing and you don't understand what the hell's going on, then check out also the one that I put up about Lakshmi, the story of that. Lakshmi doesn't just apply to just the Hindu culture. It also applies to many cultures across the way. Anytime when a woman's been dishonored or anything, haven't you ever noticed that people were they were being really successful, and then all of a sudden, as soon as they started being dishonorable to their wives or their sisters or what, next thing you know, they started falling on hard times. Money and stuff started becoming difficult to manifest, to keep a currency. We're going to dive into that because in the private group, we're talking about um, breaking those contracts of money and stuff that's dealing with those things. So I will be on tomorrow and we're going to dive into that. I'm going to wrap this part up right now because I want you guys to go check out the videos that I put in the community. Make your notes if you're experiencing that. If you just came in late on this video, go back to the beginning part of it where I'm talking about the sensitivity, because that's all going to get heightened up again. We're in it now. There's no going back. It's going to be very intense going forward. You are going to see things that you never saw before, and you're going to experience things that you never thought you would experience. and it's on its way, and it's here now. So, yeah, no amount of Botox or sunscreen is going to protect a lot of people because the energies are going to be that sky high. It's going to be that bad. So, and the only way you move through this, you got to be in your work. You got to be in your purpose because this living plasma has memory. It will know if you are sincere in your heart and if you're doing your purpose. It's not a color thing. It's all about your frequency. Okay? It's all about frequency. So people who love crystals and they do their crystal thing, you're good to go. People who do their plant medicine and they do their herbs and stuff, you're good to go. But if you're someone out there asking people, is that your van out there? Trying to start trouble? You're hating on people and doing things? You're coming to people's platform and saying mean things to them when they're doing their work and they're teaching just because you don't got it together to show up and do your part and you're being rude on their platform? Yeah, not going to be good for you. All right, lovelies, I will see you tomorrow. We will step into it tomorrow. And we will talk about frequencies and the healing of the body and breaking those contracts. All right. All right, lovelies, be good to yourself. I'm signing off. Give me a few hours to upload this video where you'll have access to it. Because as soon as I sign off, it'll say it's private, even though on my thing it says public. All right? All right, much love to all of you. Bye.